Okay guys, welcome to this video where I'm looking at completing the square, okay, of a negative quadratic, okay. It's from the physicsandmathstudio.com. It's from the Core 1 June 2012 Edexcel Core 1 paper. Okay, so feel free to obviously pause the video, try this question, and then if you're not sure how to do it, then feel free to grab a pen, pencil, and a notepad or your iPad, and feel free to take some notes, okay, and make sure that your notes are neat and readable, okay, from today's video, okay. This is question number 8, guys. So we've got 4x minus 5x, 4x minus 5 minus x squared is equal to q minus bracket x plus p all squared, where p and q are integers. Part A, find the value of p and the value of q. So it's completing the square on the negative quadratic. So first of all, I'm going to write it in the form minus x squared, okay, plus 4x minus 5. Okay, there is nothing wrong with rewriting it in this form, okay, because I'm used to completing the square when I have it in this form. I'm now going to take the negative out, so I'm going to have negative, I'm going to have x squared, so then sign is going to change now for all the terms, minus 4x plus 5, okay. That's the same as having minus brackets, okay, x squared minus 4x plus 5, okay. I'm now going to complete the square on this quadratic, keeping the minus sign out. So I'm going to have minus bracket, and then I'm going to have x minus 2 all squared, so it's half of the coefficient of the x, okay, and then you square that, and then you're going to have negative 4, okay, there, and then plus 5, okay, for that one. Okay, so I'm going to have here, I'm going to have minus brackets x minus 2 all squared, okay, plus that one here, okay, for that. Okay, so because I've got like a double bracket here, sorry, I should have been very clear actually. Okay, so reintroducing that minus, I'm going to have minus 1 minus x minus 2 all squared, and we can double check here by expanding the bracket. So if I expand this, I'm going to get x squared minus 4x minus 4, so I'm going to have minus x squared plus 4x, okay, minus 4, and then subtract that 1, I'm going to get minus 5. So that does confirm my answer, okay? So that is completing the square on a negative quadratic, okay? So I've taken out the minus sign, and then I've completed the square on this, and then I've kept the minus sign in at the end, okay, for this. So that's your final answer for that question. So your answer will be minus 1. Okay, so if you expand this bracket, that bracket goes, and then that changes to a minus sign. So it's minus brackets x minus 2 all squared minus 1, but it wants it in the form q minus brackets and then x plus p all squared. So in this case, q is negative 1, and then p is equal to negative 2. Okay, for that. Okay, so it's completing the square on the quadratic term. So hopefully it makes sense, guys. Okay, so I took the minus sign out, and then I completed the square on the positive part of the quadratic, and then I reintroduced the minus sign right at the end. So I apologize if I went through that pretty quickly, but feel free to obviously rewind and watch it if you need to. Part B, calculate the discriminant of 4 minus 5x minus x squared. So it's minus x squared plus 4x minus 5. Okay, so the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac, so that's the part of the quadratic formula. So b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so labeling are a, b, and c. So a is negative 1. Okay, b is going to be equal to 4, and c is equal to negative 5. Okay, so being very, very, very careful when we substitute this into the expression b squared minus 4ac. I'm going to have 4 squared, which is going to be 16, minus 4 lots of, okay, -1 and then -5. So my answer here is going to have a negative, I believe. Okay, so I'm going to have 16. Okay, minus 4 times minus 1 is positive 4, times by minus 5 becomes minus 20, so it's 16 minus 20, which is equal to minus 4. So the discriminant of this quadratic is equal to minus 4. And therefore, that means that the quadratic has no real distinct solutions. So when we sketch this quadratic, which we're going to do in part C, okay, it doesn't cross or intercept the x-axis because it doesn't have any real roots. Remember that the quadratic formula, okay, I'm taking the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and I can't take the square root of a negative number. Okay, we actually get what we call an imaginary number, but that is a lesson for like another time. Okay, but so the quadratic, okay, doesn't actually have any real solutions, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't cross the y-axis. So it crosses the y-axis at -5. Okay, it's a negative quadratic, so it's going to look something, okay, like this. Okay, to -1. Okay, if you're looking at the turning point, so -2 minus 1, so its maximum point is going to be there, okay, from when you work this part out. Okay, so that would be your answer for part C. So on the axis on page 17, sketch the curve with the equation y is equal to 4x minus 5 minus 6 squared, okay, showing clearly the coordinates of any points where the curve crosses the axes. So it crosses the y-axis at 0, -5. Okay, and its maximum point is -2, -1 from working out our answer in part I. Okay, because that's completing the square gives us the turning point, the minimum or maximum point. It's a negative quadratic, so it's in the form of an N shape. Okay, it doesn't have any distinct real roots. Okay, because from part B we found out that the discriminant was equal to -4, and I can't take the square root of -4, therefore it doesn't have any distinct real solutions. However, it doesn't mean that the graph can't be sketched or plotted. Okay, so this is like a rough sketch of the quadratic equation, okay, for this one here. Okay, remember that the quadratic equation expression is -x squared plus 4x minus 5. Okay. I mean, I could multiply through everything by a negative, okay, but obviously that is just going to switch the sign, okay, but it still doesn't have any real distinct solutions, okay, so remember that the form of a quadratic equation is in the form ax squared, okay, plus bx plus c is equal to 0, okay, and then the quadratic formula is x is equal to -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, okay, that does appear on your A-level maths formula sheet. So make sure that you're happy with that, and if it doesn't appear, then please do make a note of this. Okay, sorry if I went through this question pretty quickly, guys, but hopefully it makes sense. Okay, any questions, any queries, put it in the comment section. Okay, thank you so much for watching today's video. Okay, any topic requests, any queries, put it in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you all in the next video. Okay, bye for now.